Okay, as you know, my friends, the only university on planet Earth that has truthfulness, honesty, integrity, and the ability to see what is in front of our eyes. Now, what are we talking about today? The risks of homeschooling. Harvard. I'm serious. This is from Harvard Law School against homeschooling. They want to make it illegal. Now, the risks of homeschooling, and then there's this woman, Elizabeth Bartholet, who is the Weston Public Interest Professor of Law and the faculty director of the law school's child advocacy program. She sees risks for the children and society in homeschooling, recommends a presumptive ban on the practice. She's a law school person. Homeschooling, she says, not only violates a children's right to a meaningful education and their right to be protected from potential child abuse, but may keep them from contributing positively to a democratic society. So she's taken the viewpoint that they're going to be taught. I don't know what she's taking the viewpoint they're going to be taught, but she's saying that they're not going to be fully indoctrinated in the ways of educated society. So they won't be able to speak and along those same lines, because they're going to see reality and they're not going to believe what they've been taught, because what they've been taught is absolute nonsense from Harvard and Yale. Absolutely, totally, complete nonsense. And I can prove these things. This is the problem. This is the kind of woman that I want to talk to, because I want to see a class action lawsuit against her and the like, especially Harvard and Yale. They have been the two worst offenders at their fiduciary duty of looking into what is reality to present to their students, because that's in the best interest of their students. That's what a fiduciary obligation is. They have complete control over these students. Those students really can't protest much. If they do, and they say, no, you're not right, well, they're going to fail them. Then they fail them, they keep their money, the kid lives under the bridge for the rest of his life, they call him an idiot. So this is not right in any way if they're presented with specimens and evidence supporting the specimens, and they will not accept or even look at them. And I'm going to show you the specimens right now. So I think that Elizabeth Bartholet should get a hold of me, Roger, at this truthful university, and then we will discuss, their legal obligation. That's what I want to discuss, is their legal obligation, because they are the ones that have abrogated it in every single way. So let's see if I can prove what I'm saying. That's one of my specimens, and I have many. That is a giant human fingertip. That is the fingernail. This is the length, is a width about 30 inches. That's where the bone is in the back. This is broken off here, and this is it right here, and that is fingerprints. This is called grip skin. This wrapped right around the other side like that, and that's where the grip skin starts, the fingerprints, just like you have on the bottom of your fingers, your toes. All right, on your skin, there is all kinds of different skin. This is what's called grip skin or friction ridge skin. You see those little holes right there? You see? These are the fingerprints. That's just exactly the same thing. This is the fingerprints, and these are those little holes. You see? See, exactly, this is what it is. It's a fingerprint off of my giant finger. Okay, you saw the specimens. This is the DNA tests that were done, and there's 3 of them done on that giant fingertip, another one that was about half as big as that one, and then a lung, which is, I think I showed it to you and showed the red blood coming out of it, because all 3 of them came, the extractions were taken in extreme cautious, with every detail done deeply inside in the arterial blood. And there was 3 specimens, and it was done with the ancient DNA protocols and ancient extraction kits and all this business. And it was a PCR very high-end test, no swab. Now, there was 3 things tested, and one of them was that giant fingertip that I showed. And they were all positive for human mitochondrial DNA, and that's just what happened. I mean, so now I sent, well, nobody would look at them. I tried to give them to Harvard, I tried to give them to Yale, and they absolutely fought against me. It wasn't any comfortable working relationship there whatsoever. And they refused to look at them, and then they just refused to communicate, and then they just shut me out. So I would say that to me, that is a fiduciary failure, and I don't know. I would have thought there could be a class action lawsuit or something against somebody that is designated with that kind of responsibility and that kind of systemic response. And I have dozens of different universities I try to contact, virtually everybody, even the community college right here in my area. They won't talk because they know that to be put into that realm, they'll be laughed at. And that is the most important thing to them, is for their authority not to be questioned. And these kind of things lead to questions, obviously. But I have the answers. I have the specimens. We have a problem here. We have a failure to communicate. All right, here's one that just came in 10 minutes ago about a Columbus and the dragon in Morocco. Columbus had a map that shows the dragon in Morocco on it. And this girl, Jacqueline Glasgow, says, once our eyes have been opened, there's no return. Oh my God, everything you're saying is resonating so deeply with me as if the knowledge has already been within me. I'm telling the story of our history to anyone who will listen, and it's probably likely few. And I don't care who thinks I'm crazy. Obviously, she's being met with that kind of resistance, or whatever relationships I will lose, because you will lose some. Bless you for waking me up and taking me on this journey of remembering. People fight against this. Everybody does. You know, you just have to stand up. If you don't stand up, just go along with the herd. I don't care. It's up to you. But I'm not a herd type creature. And the map that I'm talking about has this dragon, whoops, right over here in Morocco. Undeniable, cannot possibly be missed by anyone with eyesight and intelligence and the ability to see what was written about in the past. That's the dragon. That's the throat. Those are dragon scales. You see this? These are dragon scales. It's not just mountains. That's not just a river valley. That's called Draco. I think it's a Draco Valley or whatever it is. It's a dragon. It's a dragon. Case closed. Now, what do we have here? A gigantic fish. What's written in some of the ancient earliest texts? A leviathan and a dragon. This is not silly. This is something that should be investigated, because I'm going to tell you right now, my life is just about over, and I'm trying to figure a way to get into the next one in a comfortable way. Because what I've read says that you got one way or another, and you better figure out what is reality for you, and you better figure it out damn quick, because this COVID thing could take you tomorrow. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow. Well, not likely. The buses aren't running. But anyway, you could, your case could close up any day now. And then I got a feeling somebody's going to stand there and say, okay, pal, we got issues with you. Or, hey, glad to meet you. Thank you. You did a good job. Whoa, we're glad you made it. That's what I'm hoping to hear. Okay, my friends, so I think I've shown that Harvard and Yale and pretty much all of them, because I have really tried to contact all of them, are actually what I would consider to be abrogating their fiduciary obligation to act in the best interest of the students. Now, I don't know how you'd resolve that. Is that something legal? I don't know. But I would not be pleased if I was paying for an education and knowing that they don't seem to care whether what they're teaching is correct or not. And that's the only way I can take this. And maybe you can figure another way. But I'd be interested in hearing from some legal people. I mean, is this class action thing or something? I have no idea. But I do know that they don't want anybody to have, it's even on their own Harvard Magazine's website. Here, right here. May, June 2020. The risks of homeschooling. And she says right here, she says that homeschooling, she says, not only violates children's right to meaningful education, their right to protected from potential child abuse, I don't know, but may keep them from contributing to society. I mean, this sounds pretty authoritarian to me. The kids are going to have to figure out what's right and wrong. Harvard doesn't have the answers. I can guarantee you that. They are as wrong as anybody on the face of the planet. Harvard, Yale, all of them totally wrong about literally everything. Even the light and heat and energy and our past, rocks, geology, archaeology. 100% wrong. And they should have to come to me because I have presented the truth and I have presented the facts. They have presented nothing but these theories. Not only the giants, we have new species. I call them no-toes. The toes are built in. It's not a shoe. That's a toe, a foot. And that's where the fibia comes down, and that's where the tibia attached right here. And Tish Egerton has a ton of them, and she's got them like this is almost a complete leg. They have springs inside instead of tendons. We have so much new stuff that, and you cannot present anything to these people because it overrides what they've been saying. They won't allow it. It's not just their past, it's not just geology, it's not just history, it's light, it's everything, it's energy. This is light of a red pulse laser just going through here, and then all of a sudden it's accelerated, which you're not supposed to be able to do, and it's a particle which is not supposed to be. It's obviously pulling itself because it's coming through a venturi. That's a single slit, not a double slit. These are not interference patterns, they're repulsion patterns of these all negative particles fighting each other. These are the Higgs fields, which they like to call only CERN can find, and they can't even find them that I know about, not like these. And this is a new particle that nobody's ever seen before. These appear to be the light particles. Not a single university will discuss this. They don't want to see it. No, just don't, stay away from us. It's not just, it's anything that they cannot support in what they have espoused. They won't look at it. So, to me, that is a failure, an extreme failure.